From the Fox 26 studios, this is Houston's Morning Show.
It has been retweeted more than 10,000 times. It has been liked more than 65,000 times and spurred more than 2,000 comments. It begs the question, was this brilliant marketing? Here to talk more about this is tech and social media expert Nick Wolny. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
All right, let's talk about what mix-up are we talking about here that went viral?
Yeah, it's a restaurant called the Hawksmoor. It's in London, and it was pretty funny actually. The manager went to grab about a 300-pound bottle of wine, but the names were very similar, and so she inadvertently grabbed a 4,500-pound bottle of wine, which comes into just under $6,000, which is a pretty painful mistake. Bummer that I wasn't sitting at that table though to get that right.
Huge.
So they, rather than, it was time to make lemons out of lemonade, really,
yeah.
or lemonade out of lemons. And what happened is they posted on Twitter, hey, to the customer that received this, the most expensive bottle of wine in the shop, I really hope you enjoyed your evening. And to the manager who made the slip up, don't worry about it, chin up, continue forward. And people lost their minds from this. It's really interesting because Twitter is the place where things can go viral in a very short amount of time, and this had all of the ingredients. It was quick, it was witty, it was human, and in this age of technology where we're more and more connected, having these human personal stories really goes far.
I tell you what, when companies or even people see something like this, we can learn from it, right? I mean, you could really help your business or whatever it is that you're trying to do in life. If you get an opportunity to do like this, don't go ballistic. Be positive about it.
Absolutely. And what is also unique about Twitter as a marketing platform, but also even just as a social media platform, is that you have the actual content that people are reading, perhaps people's posts or people's tweets, but then you also have, you almost have this kind of nesting dolls or Russian dolls concept where people's commentary on other people's comments can also be viral, can also spread the message. So a lot of people were really responding to this mix-up. You had people who had a background in hospitality saying, I really like you're being very gracious with this and really appreciate that because that's not always how it is. You had other people wishing that they were at that table. You had wine connoisseurs commenting. You had a whole bunch of different stuff going on.
Yeah, why me? Why wasn't I sitting there? Okay, now let's talk about the fact though that when we see stories like this, sometimes you don't know if it's the real deal, right? And how do you tell the difference between fake news? How do we combat that problem?
Right. Yeah, the issue is that 68% of people get some of their news from social media, and 1 in 5 Americans report that they mostly get their news from Twitter and Facebook. And so while we have some of these really feel-good stories that come through, permeates, and gives us all the warm fuzzies. If it's online,
it has to be true. But that's not the case.
Exactly. It's becoming more and more of an issue that misinformation is getting spread. So what you always want to do with any platform is check what's happening in terms of where was this original content, particularly if it's news, if it's some sort of study that comes out, if it's some sort of assertion about health or about business. You want to make sure that you get that source information and that it's always coming from science.
And there are also a few websites that you can go to and you can look to see if it's true. And sometimes it'll tell you fact or fiction, right? So that can kind of help you look it up. If it feels like it might not be true, it might be worth just taking that extra step before you retweet or before you repost on Facebook. Absolutely.
Look for that backlink. Look for the research that's being cited in the media article. That way you can get back to the source and really see what they're talking about.
If we go viral, we want it to be a good thing, right? Not because we accidentally posted something that wasn't true.
It's a double-edged sword, so you want to make sure you're on the positive with that.
All right, Nick. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Fun conversation.